The air hung heavy with despair, a suffocating blanket as Andy Dufresne entered Shawshank Penitentiary. The towering gates groaned shut behind him, sealing away the life he once knew. Each step forward echoed with the weight of injustice, the cold stone beneath his feet a reminder that this was no longer his world. Wrongfully convicted, sentenced to life for a crime he didn't commit. The gavel had fallen, not just on his freedom, but on his identity. In the eyes of the law, he was no longer a man, just a number in a system that had failed him. He was a man stripped of freedom, thrown into a world of cold steel and even colder hearts. The walls whispered stories of broken men, and the silence screamed louder than any voice. His eyes, though, held a flicker of something unbroken, a spark of hope. It was faint, but it burned with quiet defiance, a refusal to surrender to the darkness. The guards sneered. The inmates watched. In this place, weakness was preyed upon, and hope was a dangerous thing, fragile, yet powerful. Shawshank had a way of crushing hope. It seeped into your bones, made you forget the sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight. Andy, however, was about to show them all what it truly meant to be alive. He was an outsider, a former banker in a world where money meant nothing. His suit, his speech, his calm demeanor, they made him a target, but also set him apart. But Andy had something far more valuable: resilience, a quiet strength that refused to be broken, even when everything else was stripped away. He endured the beatings, the humiliation, the soul-crushing monotony. Day after day, he walked the same yard, heard the same clanging doors, and yet he never let it define him. He clung to his innocence, a life raft in a sea of despair. It was the one truth he held on to, the anchor that kept him from drifting into madness. And slowly he began to chip away at the walls closing in around him, revealing the man he was always meant to be. Not just a prisoner, but a symbol that even in the darkest places, hope can take root and grow. Life in Shawshank was designed to break you. The guards were brutal, the inmates hardened by years of confinement. Yet Andy saw opportunity where others saw only despair. He used his knowledge, his quiet intelligence to earn a sliver of respect, a moment of respite in the suffocating darkness. He helped the guards with their taxes, a small act that set him apart. He saw a chance to make a difference, to reclaim a piece of the life that had been stolen from him. His reputation grew. The man who was once an outsider, a target, became a valuable asset. He was given a position in the library, a small victory that would have a profound impact on his life and the lives of those around him. For Andy, the library was more than just books. It was a sanctuary, a place where hope could flourish. Red had seen it all. Decades in Shawshank had taught him that hope was a dangerous thing, a cruel illusion. He had resigned himself to a life behind bars, his spirit ground down by the weight of his sentence. Then he met Andy. Their friendship was unlikely, a beacon of light in the darkness. Andy, with his unwavering belief in redemption, challenged Red's cynicism. They spent hours talking, sharing stories, dreams, and fears. Andy spoke of freedom, of a life beyond the walls, and Red, for the first time in years, allowed himself to hope. Their friendship was a testament to the power of human connection, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, hope can take root and flourish. The library became Andy's legacy. He transformed it from a dusty, forgotten room into a vibrant hub of learning and imagination. He wrote letters, tirelessly campaigning for donations, and slowly, miraculously, books began to arrive. Each book was a window to the world, a reminder that there was more to life than the cold, gray walls of Shawshank. The inmates, starved for knowledge and inspiration, flocked to the library. They devoured books, losing themselves in stories of adventure, romance, and history. For a brief time, they were transported, their spirits lifted by the power of words. Andy had given them something priceless, a chance to escape, if only in their minds. Hope can be a fragile thing, easily crushed. In a place like Shawshank, it's more than rare. It's dangerous. It flickers like a candle in the wind, always one breath away from being snuffed out. Tommy Williams, a young inmate, came into Shawshank with all the swagger in the world. He had that cocky grin, that bounce in his step, like prison was just another stop on his wild ride. But you know, underneath all that bravado, Andy saw something, a spark of potential. Not just street smarts, but a hunger to be more than what the world had labeled him. He took Tommy under his wing, helped him study, pushed him to earn his GED, showed him a different way to live. For the first time, Tommy started to believe he could be more than just another statistic. And in return, Tommy gave Andy something he hadn't had in a long, long time. A real shot at freedom. Not just the dream of it, but a tangible path out. Turns out Tommy knew something big, a story from another prison, a name, a confession, the kind of thing that could change everything. He had a first-hand account that could have cleared Andy's name. A man he'd done time with had bragged about the very crime Andy was locked up for. For a moment, hope flared up, brighter than it had in years. It felt real, like maybe, just maybe, justice could win for once. But fate, well, it had other plans. In Shawshank, truth doesn't always set you free. Sometimes it gets you buried. The warden, a man more interested in keeping his dirty secrets than doing what was right, couldn't let the truth out. Andy's freedom meant the end of his little empire, and Tommy, poor kid, he became a problem that needed to be handled. They silenced him, not with threats, but with finality. A bullet in the dark, just like that. Hope, so fresh, so alive, was snuffed out, gone. In its place, only silence. And the cold, cruel reminder that in Shawshank, freedom always comes at a price. Andy was devastated, his spirit seemingly broken. Red, fearing the worst, watched as his friend retreated into himself. But Andy was not defeated. He had faced darkness before, and he knew that even in the face of despair, hope could endure. He had a plan, a daring and audacious plan that he had been meticulously crafting for years. He had chiseled away at the prison walls, inch by agonizing inch, using a small rock hammer and unwavering determination. He had created a tunnel, a secret passage to freedom. He had never given up on hope, and now hope was all he had left. The night was dark, the rain relentless. Under the cover of a raging storm, Andy made his move. He crawled through the tunnel, the stench of sewage and fear thick in the air. He emerged into a raging river, the current threatening to sweep him away. But Andy was not deterred. He swam, his strokes fueled by years of longing, until he reached the other side. He was free. Free from the suffocating walls of Shawshank, free from the corruption and brutality that had defined his life for 2 long decades. As he stood on the riverbank, rain washing away the grime and despair, he raised his arms in triumph. Hope had prevailed. Red was released from Shawshank, a changed man. He had served his time, but more importantly, he had learned the true meaning of hope. He had promised Andy that he would visit a particular hayfield, a place where dreams took flight. And so he did. He found a letter tucked beneath a rock, a message from his friend, guiding him towards a new life. Andy had arranged for Red to join him in Zihuatanejo, a small coastal town in Mexico, a paradise where they could finally be free. Red, tears streaming down his face, boarded a bus south, his heart filled with gratitude and the unwavering belief that hope, like friendship, could transcend even the most formidable barriers. The final scene is iconic. It's not just a conclusion. It's a release, a breath of fresh air after years of suffocating darkness. 2 friends reunited on a sun-drenched beach, their laughter echoing across the waves. It's a moment of quiet triumph, of peace earned through pain. The ocean stretches endlessly before them, a symbol of freedom, of new beginnings. They had endured unimaginable hardships, faced their darkest fears, yet they had emerged from the crucible stronger, their spirits unbroken. Every step they took was a rebellion against despair, a declaration that they would not be defined by their suffering. The Shawshank Redemption is more than just a film. It's a meditation on resilience, on the quiet power of hope that refuses to be extinguished. It is a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will to survive, to hope, to love. It shows us that even when the world turns cold and cruel, there is still warmth to be found in connection, in belief, in the simple act of holding on. It reminds us that even in the darkest of places, a single spark of hope can ignite a fire that burns away despair. That light, no matter how faint, can guide us through the longest nights. It teaches us that friendship can bloom in the most unlikely of places, offering solace and strength in a world that often seems determined to break us. In those bonds, we find the courage to keep going. It is a story that stays with you long after the credits roll, a reminder that hope, like Andy Dufresne, is a good thing, maybe the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. It lives on in every act of kindness, every moment of grace, every dream that refuses to fade.
In a world where cinema comes alive in just minutes, experience the magic of movies like never before. Hit now and be part of something extraordinary. Smash that like button if you love great stories and unforgettable moments. Cinema in minutes, where every second counts and every story matters.